Hi all, welcome to another video. Today is going to be a super casual one. We're just going to hang out. I got the jazz on, which I hope you don't mind. It's going to be playing in the background. I'll lower it a little bit. But we got some goodies in the mail today. Very excited for one of these more than the other, I gotta admit. But they're both great additions to the collection, the ever-growing collection back here. I'm not buying as much as I used to, but there are things here and there that I will pick up just because I think I need it for the collection, and I can see myself rewatching it. But one of these is just a must-have because it has not been available in this form for such a long time. I'm talking about the Inland Empire drop of or the Criterion drop, rephrase that, Criterion drop of Inland Empire, the Blu-ray, director approved, so you can see there, director approved Blu-ray. Always love what Criterion does with the David Lynch movies. Now this one was shot on digital, so I'm very curious what they did to make this look better. I have not seen this movie in almost a decade because it's so hard to get, and you probably have to stream it on some shady site to even watch it previously, unless you want to pay a fortune for a DVD version. But now they are widely available. I think Criterion is actually having their flash sale right now, so you get it for $20 if you pick it up within the next 24 hours. I pre-ordered this one on Amazon a while back, and the price was pretty comparable to buying it on Criterion during the sale anyway, with the shipping and stuff. So happy to have this now. I don't know when I'm going to watch it because it is 180 minutes, 3 hours flat. But again, I have not seen this in about a decade, so I'm very excited to rewatch this. I don't remember much of it. I remember just stuff through conversation. So I'm going to actually open it up real quick and we could talk about it. So there's a little bit of a description of the film in the back. But the kind of new tidbits are new HD digital master made from the 4K restoration supervised by director David Lynch with 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio and uncompressed stereo soundtracks, newly remastered by Lynch and original re-recording mixers Dean Hurley and Ron, and that is good news. Dean Hurley for re-recording, I guess, some of the sounds that they just couldn't, they wanted to restore and they couldn't get the original versions of, probably because it was shot on digital and it's not like film where there's separate tracks and stuff and you can just restore things differently. So that's pretty interesting. And then it comes with two films from 2007, Lynch and Lynch 2 by Black and White, the makers of David Lynch, The Art Life. I have never seen either of these, so that's interesting. New conversation between actors Laura Dern and Kyle MacLachlan. That's cool. More things that happen, 75 minutes of extra scenes. I don't think I've ever seen the extras for that. Comes with Ballerina, the short film. Reading by Lynch of excerpts from Room to Dream, his book that he put out a couple years ago, the trailer, new English subtitle translation and English subtitles for deaf and hard of hearing, plus excerpts from a Richard A. Barney book, David Lynch interviews. So let's open this up. I don't know if there's going to be a little much going on inside. You get the Blu-ray and the DVD, and then you get this booklet. Looks great. Just love the packaging. And then you have some Lynch art actually on the sleeve itself. There you go. That's the sleeve of the Blu-ray itself. Let's go through the book real quick. So there you have it. You have the Inland Empire. You have the hallway. This is the first time I'm seeing this too, so I don't know what to expect. Then you have rabbits. Cool shot. Cast. Some more credits. Worlds within worlds within worlds. The following interview with David Lynch, conducted by scholar Richard A. Barney, and then you have that interview excerpt here. So you get a good chunk of that. Some more shots from the movie. You get that shot. I don't remember that shot at all. It's really been a long time since I've seen this. Yeah, so I think we also have this one. Some more art. How to, I guess, how they restored it. That's pretty cool. I like that. Mini DV, SD video clips, edit, SD 2997 assembly, color correction, 35mm, converted then in HDR, HD video file downscale. That's awesome. Topaz Video Enhance AI. Interesting. They use Topaz to enhance the 4K clips. They QC, then color correction and added grain, then director approved 4K master. So they did use Topaz Labs AI software to upscale the footage from the Handycam. That's interesting. I've used Topaz Video AI before. It's okay. I mean, I'm sure they paid for the premium version because they're going to be doing a lot of this, I imagine, in the future. It must have been, when I've used it, it's been very okay with upscaling. Obviously, this is a little different, but you have a way more well-educated team behind this, but that is interesting. Original re-recording mixers. So they re-recorded a lot of stuff. Careful scene-by-scene adjustments involving noise reduction, dialogue levels, and overall dynamic decisions were made under Lynch's supervision. This new mix preserves the overall color and channel assignments of the original mix, which by design maintain a front-heavy delivery of the mix's energy with intentional minimal surround activity. This is, I could get super nerdy about this stuff. That is interesting. An Inland Empire was shot in SD 4x3 480i 2997 on DV tape. After being captured, the footage was edited in the same format in Avid. The footage was then converted to HD 16:9 1080 2398 frames per second and input into Clipster for remote DaVinci 2K grading. Okay. During this process, a Teranex converter was used to treat video noise in selected shots. With the digital intermediate DI master complete, it was output to 35mm film and HD Cam SR tape. So they use DaVinci and Clipster to upscale to 2K to remove digital grain and stuff like that. It's interesting. And then they scanned it to 35mm film. And the tape again. In 2021, the HD Cam SR source was recaptured and upscaled to UHD 4K 16:9 via numerous algorithms in Topaz Labs Gigapixel AI software. Again, super interesting that they used Topaz Labs. This is pretty popular software right now for video editors. I've used it. These tests were compared against the original HD Video Master as well as a 4K scan of the first reel of the 35mm negative. This is super interesting. From these tests, director David Lynch chose the upscale made using the Gaia HD algorithm and footage that had first been downscaled back to SD in order to throw away false detail introduced during the original HD conversion and allow the most effective use of the AI upscale footage. Upscaled directly from HD was less noticeably 4K looking. Of course. After the entire movie had been processed, it underwent quality control for image-breaking artifacts, which is face becoming garbled. Several shots were flagged, then redone using the next best gigapixel setting. Once the upscale was complete, the 4K image was brought into DaVinci Resolve for a new color pass to manage color balance and saturation, as well as add a slight layer of grain. The 4K remaster was used as a source for the HD presentation on this Blu-ray. That's super interesting to me. I know that maybe that's gibberish to some people, but basically what they did was took the original tape that it was shot on, upscaled it to HD 1080 at 23.98 frames per second, which is normal for film, and then did a 2K grade in DaVinci remotely. Then they used this converter to treat the video even further. I haven't heard of this Teranex converter. They treated the noise further on select shots. And then when they did that master, then they scanned it back to 35 millimeter and HD cam SR tape. So they scanned it back to a tape format. When they did the rescan of the HD cam tape or source, they upscaled it using that new AI out. Well, it's been out for a while, but the AI software, which again, saying what they say, things look kind of garbled and stuff. Not surprising, because anytime I've used it, it came out looking pretty garbled and noticeable. I don't know if kind of your average viewer that doesn't know to look for these things will notice, but you might see. I mean, I trust their kind of quality control with these things, but it's interesting that they used that program 2 years ago to upscale this. The program's a lot better now. It does a lot better job. I mean, AI software is getting so good so quickly that I'm almost wondering if they could probably already do a better remaster of this today than 2 years ago, honestly. So without getting too much into the nerdy kind of tech stuff, which is what was interesting to me the most with this, because it had been shot on just an HD cam about 20 years ago, more than that at this point. How they were going to upscale that footage to really look good on today's screens. Big HD screens are going to 6K and 8K pretty soon. So that's interesting. Now I'm really curious to kind of see how this looks on I got a newer TV a couple months ago, how it looks on that screen. I mean, I trust Criterion. I know they're doing. They seem like they did it. Used Topaz AI meticulously to regrade this footage. It passed David Lynch's. He gave it the thumbs up. Maybe even the uncanniness of using the AI upscaling adds something to the movie. It's gonna be interesting. Again, I don't really remember much of this movie besides little things. Obviously, rabbits is something I've watched frequently, but I don't exactly remember what the original version looks like per se. So I won't be able to compare it like that. Maybe sometime in the future, if people are interested, we could do a comparison, because I think this is a case study unlike any of the other releases that Criterion has put out of Lynch's movies, because a lot of those have just been scans of 35 mil prints from that were preserved. But this is the first instance that I know where they've used AI to upscale a film from the early 2000s and then basically restored it and released it. And Topaz AI is something everybody could download and try today. So it's really interesting that I'm sure the version they used was professional grade, but this is a consumer product. I get ads for it on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So I'm really curious to see how well that program did with the original footage, and if it looks like it makes sense to watch and 2K or 4K. Obviously, they upscaled it to 4K and then brought it back down to 1080 to be on a regular Blu-ray. Probably smart so that you could retain all that detail that you brought back in whatever way through the AI and the rescanning of the tapes and stuff like that to really get the most depth and range in your images. So this is really interesting to me. I'm gonna shut up now because I want to move on. But yeah, let me know what you guys think if you do get to watch this copy. Let me know what you think of this new grade of this film, this new restoration. It's only the beginning of stuff like that, and I think I would love to see maybe even a video or some kind of mini doc into the process that went into that. Might just be somebody messing around on a computer, but I think it's still interesting. Hey XYZ, yeah. Before we jump on, let's see. Did you hear the news that The Rock apparently blocked the Justice Society to appear in Shazam? Zachary Levi appears to confirm it. The Rock, I don't know. The Rock is ending up in a weird place with this DC stuff. It's getting a little too weird for me. He's definitely pissed because Black Adam didn't do well, and now Shazam is not doing well. And people are kind of blaming Black Adam for it because Black Adam was supposed to fight Shazam. Anybody was all about this, fighting Superman thing, and I think the DC movies were heading where they were heading. So it's not surprising. This is not surprising to me. It's just strange. His behavior's been strange about all this stuff lately. All right, jumping on to the next haul. This one maybe a little bit more straightforward. But I picked up M3GAN. I saw this in the theater. Enjoyed it for the most part. This is the unrated edition, which I want to watch, which apparently is a lot more brutal than the one that they played in the theaters. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool movie. I know they're getting ready for a sequel. I can't imagine they have a ton of stuff going on in the packaging. It's pretty straightforward. But I'll open it up and show you guys. But yeah, Inland Empire is where my attention really is, because I think this pretty much rounds out my Lynch collection. I think I have all the movies now. Not all Criterion, but I have all of them finally. I think that was the only one I was really missing because it was just so hard to get in a decent format. Yeah, so there's not much going on with this. So it's just your regular kind of DVD Blu-ray set. But that's it, guys. That's the Blu-ray haul for today. I don't really have much. Kind of been paring back, but there you go. Thumbnail. Yeah, so if anybody does watch Inland Empire and has thoughts about the restoration, please message me. I'd love to talk about it because I think it's pretty fascinating. I don't know of another instance where they have done this upscaling with Topaz AI, and then did a big release with it, especially Criterion. Again, trust them; they're very good at quality control. But yeah, I'm curious to see what you think, to hear what you think. Not see, but to hear. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. Very interesting. Again, let me know what you think of this Inland Empire remaster if you pick it up. But until next time, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. And I'll talk to everybody very soon. See you later.